The cults that tortured me, the intergenerational, interconnected KKK, satanic, and Nazi cults, they wanted to make sure that people would not believe us. And I don't think they even had to do much to do that, because already people in our society have trouble just believing child sexual abuse or sexual assault of an adult even. There's so much victim blaming. There are people who can't even hear that. And then it gets down to the organized trafficking and the torture and the murder and the mind control that is used, and people, so many people don't want to hear. It helps when people can hear and believe, because I think that over time may help stop some of it. But people don't want to hear it, especially if it is in their own city, their own little area. But so the cult, to try and make sure that we would not be believed and that we would not remember, would use mind control, but they would also create elaborate abuse scenarios that would work to discredit us if we remembered some of it, but we didn't remember all of it, that we didn't see through the elaborate costumes that were used or the elaborate abuse scenarios. Things like dressing up as aliens and raping us, and then when we would remember, if we talked about it, if we didn't see that they were using elaborate costumes and props, no one would believe us that we were abducted by aliens, or raped by Mickey Mouse, or Elvis, or that we were a slave in Egyptian times, where they did elaborate abuse scenarios for that again, or that someone, a high-profile figure in society, had been murdered in front of us, when it was, again, costumes and masks. The cult did that so that when we start remembering and talking, we would talk about those things, and then everybody would discredit us and think that it wasn't true. And I also wonder about some of their elaborate ritualized and ritual attire, like for the satanic cult, and even the Nazi and KKK, if people would then not believe us when we talk about what they wore and the artifacts that they would use and how elaborate it was, because people don't want to believe that these things happen in our society. But I think it's another layer to scare us, because it is scary at night to have people, say, in black cloaks where you can't see their faces, where they have torches, where they have pentagrams, where they are drinking out of skulls, where they have white or black candles, and where they are actually killing kids. It is terrifying, and the amount of rape and torture and murder. But some of the things that they use, I think, are props to keep people from believing and to discredit us when we talk and remember. I hope if you hear other survivors speak out, that you are able to hear them and believe them. It can make a difference, not only in that survivor's life, but in other survivors down the road, when you then have a little more knowledge, or you're a little more informed, and you know that these things happen. It can help save a survivor's life. It can help a survivor to know that they are believed and heard. And when we have safety with other people, it can help us to get safe, even though it can take so long. It took me most of my life to get safe. And thank you, everyone who believes and hears us survivors. I'm really grateful to you. And if you are a survivor, please, please never give up on getting safe if you're not safe, on healing, even though I know it is so hard sometimes. There are safe people in the world. There are kind and compassionate people. We can create chosen family. We can find so much more happiness and safety and healing and even joy.